Then Miriam, the prophetess, Aaron's sister, took a tambourine in her hand, and all the women followed her with tambourines and with dances. Miriam sang in response to the men, "Sing to Jehovah, for he has become highly exalted. The horse and its rider he has hurled into the sea." Moses later led Israel away from the Red Sea. Then they went out to the wilderness of Shur and marched on for 3 days in the wilderness, but they did not find water. They came to Meribah, but they were not able to drink the water from Meribah, because it was bitter. That is why he named it Meribah. So the people began to murmur against Moses, saying, "What are we to drink?" He cried out to Jehovah, and Jehovah directed him to a tree. But when he threw it into the water became sweet. There he established for them a regulation and a case for judgment, and there he put them to the test. He said, "If you will strictly listen to the voice of Jehovah, your God, and do what is right in his eyes, and pay attention to his commandments, and keep all his regulations, I will not bring upon you any of the diseases that I brought upon the Egyptians, for I, Jehovah, am healing you." After that they came to Elim, where there were 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees, so they camped there by the water. After they departed from Elim, the entire assembly of the Israelites eventually came to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the 2nd month after their departure from the land of Egypt. Then the entire assembly of the Israelites began to murmur against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. The Israelites kept saying to them, "If only we had died by Jehovah's hand in the land of Egypt, while we were sitting by the pots of meat, while we were eating bread to satisfaction. Now you have brought us out into this wilderness, to the whole congregation, to death by famine." Then Jehovah said to Moses, "Here I am raining down bread for you from the heavens, and each of the people should go out to gather his amount day by day, so I may put them to the test to see whether they will walk in my law or not. But on the 6th day, when they prepare what they had gathered, it is to be double amount that they picked up on each of the other days."
Very, very, very good reading, Brother Del Rio. Thank you so much for that. I think we all appreciated many, many commendable points in that reading from you. I think if we'd been listening without following along, we could have followed along beautifully just by hearing you read that. I mean, many, many good things that you did. Among those things, council point number 6 talks about proper sense stress. And this is something I like to mention for our readers. You might hear me commend ones on this quite often, but it really helps when ones do stress the right words. On page 101, it says that it's important because it helps the speaker to hold the attention of the audience as well as to persuade or motivate them. There's many ways, of course, that we can stress. We can stress much like you did some of the quotations in your reading, which you did very, very well. Those stood out for us. You were stressing those. In the part where you're talking about the commandments and such, where you personalize it to him, to his, those kind of things. So that was very well done. It says on page 103 that some of us might need practice along those lines. But it says we might want to practice identifying key words and word groups and sentences, and give special attention to doing this on the basis of context. And then it says try using emphasis to indicate change of thought and how you feel about saying. And finally, when reading scriptures, make it a habit to emphasize the words